Hi there. Welcome to the Lead Relationally podcast. Let's go for a walk and join the guys as they talk about a better way to lead people.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lead Relationally podcast. My name is Brad, and this is Chris, and we are inviting you into a conversation with us. We are out here walking and talking as we do, and we love thinking about leadership. We love talking about leadership. Been leaders for a long time. We're not experts. I would say we enjoy being students of this, but we've seen a thing or two. We're not young men anymore. And so we've reached a point where we are sensing something, and it's time to invite some other people into this conversation, because we keep coming back to this idea that we think there's a better way to do leadership, that the leadership tools we've been using, different leadership models, they just haven't quite gone far enough for people like us.
Yeah, the invitation is, if you're like us, trying to figure out, how do I lead myself and other people really well? Like maybe you're working in a team, maybe you're leading a team. Regardless, we're often trying to work out, well, how do we do this well? I've got a couple of teammates that I want to help, or how do we work together in unity and harmony? Like there's this friction and tension sometimes, and this person doesn't get on with that person. And so there's often the dynamics around the work itself. And then there's often dynamics around teams and people working together. And we know that they're very connected. Lead Relationally is taking all of those things into account. It's a more holistic understanding of how our job environment interacts. But what it's not, Brad, and I can hear some people saying, I ain't got time to be everyone's friend. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is not friendship training, but it is going to be, how do we relate to people well and effectively and communicate in a way that works for the person you're trying to speak to, so that we can actually get to this thing called clarity of leadership.
I think we've just learned that for us, if we're not engaged as our whole selves, we're not actually offering our best to people. And our sense is that people want to be seen and known and understood and appreciated as whole people. Otherwise, what are we doing in this life? You know, we can get things done. We can get people to make the widgets and get the results or whatever, but at what cost? You know, people want to enjoy their work. They want to feel valued. They want to feel like I'm contributing. Even if the work itself isn't necessarily world changing, it's like people just want to be valued. And so how do we lead in a way where our humanity, who we are as whole people, is at the forefront? Yes, we have goals. Yes, we want to accomplish things, but how we get there and how we accomplish those goals is just as important as the goals themselves.
Absolutely. And because we've been students of this for a while, I've been challenged on some of my thoughts or understanding. So it's great to be able to share this now, to say, hey, I kind of got told this, or I learned this, and it really changed things for me. What do you think? So one of those things would be, I thought leadership was fairly lonely, right? It's like once you got to a certain position, you started getting more and more isolated, because I had that experience. I had some of those experiences, and I kind of thought, oh, that's normal. But then I was challenged by older, wiser people that have been trying to figure out how to lead people well for a long time, that said, well, maybe it doesn't need to be that way. Maybe there's a better way of how you interact with people, even in your more elevated position. Why don't you just serve them or be alongside them in a way that is more relational leadership? I know I'm wired that way, but even people that aren't naturally as wired that way, as maybe we are, have really found this helpful. And so we're excited to share it, to hear your thoughts on maybe how this may help you in your situations, wherever that may be.
Yeah, I think that's what this is about. There is a tendency to feel lonely in leadership because we wrestle with self-doubt and, am I a good enough leader? Am I a fraud? I'm going to be exposed. People know, we deal with all of that as leaders. And so we need to find kindred spirits. We need to find other people that are at that point having the same thoughts and saying, how do we do this and do it better than it's been done for a long time? You and I are wired that way. And so I think at this point in our lives, just don't want to settle for anything less. We think there's a better way to do leadership, or a fuller way, a more fully human way to engage with the people that we're trying to lead. And our hunch is this is going to lead to far better results, and the results that we really want. We don't fancy ourselves experts in this. We're students of this, and it's time to invite some other people into the conversation with us. So would love to know what you think and what your experiences are.
Yeah, I love it. I think the things that I've been most excited about, Brad, is the more we've talked about this with each other and with other people and people in different leadership situations, realize how deep this can be. It's been wild to think, okay, it can affect how you hire people. It can affect how you fire people. It can affect how confrontation, it's more conversational. These things have just transformed certain things that I thought, oh, it can only be like this. There's actually a lot of different ways this can go, but maybe I was limiting myself, or I just didn't know, or I hadn't tried it, or hadn't had enough conversations with other people who have done it differently than me to realize there's actually a lot more to this than maybe meets the eye.
I think the fun for you and me doing this is that we have a sense that leading people relationally is a thing. Even if we can't fully define it yet, we have to go this direction. We got to go on this walk, on this journey, and we hope that you'll come with us.
And I hope we have a lot of fun on the way. You're going to have to put up with my accent. That's very annoying. Sorry for that. Anyway, can't wait to see you on the next one, but I hope that this has been a good invitation to join us on this journey.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Hey, thanks guys. Join us again soon for another conversation. But in the meantime, it's your turn. Get out there and walk alongside the people that you're leading. Visit us at leadrelationally.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more support.